Eat what exactly?
I would offer you a towel so you wouldn't catch a cold and be sick.
Wait, I'm sorry, can you speak up? I have some people in the first row speaking above you.
I would offer you a towel so you wouldn't get sick during our nice, lovely dinner.
I'd wash you down with my hose.
How that catching up with how big that hose is?
Step back.
After this is over, I might need two. So I really wish I could ask like individual questions because first off, okay, well, to the contestant that said you'd eat and eat, what exactly would you eat?
Ask for dinner.
Well, that's obvious. Everything, of course. Everything that's there. I do have one hell of an appetite.
Contestant number 4. How big is that hose? Are we talking like fire department hose? Are we talking garden?
I never really thought of it that way. Well, enough to take you to Helsinki and back.
Thank you. Helsinki is a beautiful country at this time. I got a lovely pet there the other day, but that is neither here nor there. My next question. As you can tell, I have an impeccable fashion sense. If you... Eno, you're the one that's going to be beaten later, young lady. Oh, FYI to everyone in here, I just lost the game. What? Anyway, so I have an impeccable fashion sense. If you could dress me up in anything you wanted. I'm a Barbie doll in a Barbie world. What would it be that you dress me up in?
Whipped cream.
Paint me a word picture.
What was that?
The question?
Yeah.
I have an impeccable fashion sense. If you could dress me up in anything you want, food products included, what would it be? And I want you to paint me a word picture.
A food picture.
Word! Word!
Word picture.
Money can't buy education.
Kyle's not here anymore, is he? Leave him alone!
I'm not really sure why you dress up in food, but I think I'd have to ask Miss Lizzie because she's a lot better with clothing than I am. I'm more of the plant type of person, even though they kind of die most of the time. But I know it's very sad. I usually squish the birdies too when I try and pet them. It's all very sad, but I can't help it. It's not like I mean to, I just try to love them, but I can't help it. They get squished and I don't mean to, and I have to bury them, and it's really sad. I love all animals, but they don't all do that. I mean, Pluto doesn't get squished. He's big enough. Except he's usually dragging me around the garden grounds, and I'm sorry, I'm bad lady, that's not answering your question. I don't know, I'd have to ask Miss Lucy, because I don't really know much about clothing. Something skin tight. Yeah, something skin tight and probably something hard as well.
You know, it doesn't really matter to me what you're wearing, but I would prefer something that showed off muscles.
Well, it's pretty cold at my house, so I guess I'd dress you very warmly. Maybe with furs, but when we get inside, you wouldn't really need those now, would you?
So, Dee, do you have any more good questions before I ask the audience for a couple?
I wonder if the audience has questions for me to ask.
Does the audience have questions to ask? Who turned off the lights? Okay.
In the back.
You should ask them what dessert they would be for you.
Oh, didn't you have a question earlier?
Yeah, it was the yaoi question.
Oh, okay. So, what dessert would they be?
Yes.
Okay. If you could be any dessert, what type of dessert would you be?
Dessert. Well, Mr. Bard usually burns everything, so I'm not quite sure what I most like taste-wise. But from the shape, I'd say maybe a meat pie. I really like them, and usually if they're large enough, then they don't get burned in the middle and I can eat that. Well, that's just the only thing that I really get to eat because Mr. Bard burns everything else with his flamethrower.
I would have to say that victory and conquering another's body and just utterly putting them at my feet, that is the finest dessert of all.
What's that mean?
For helping others, but okay. I would be a Sinclair donut because of the shape and good filling in the middle.
I would probably be licorice. It's sugary, it's kind of salty, and it's an acquired taste, but you can run your tongue over it all you want.
It won't get too soft after a while, right?
Is that a question for me?
No, I was asking him. He's the one with the licorice.
So I have...
Does anybody else have another question? You right there?
If the bachelor was tipsy drunk and went out drinking with the contestants, and there was no chance at all that he would remember what happened that night, what would you
Can you marry me?
Did you guys get that question okay?
Okay, let's set the scene.
Set it.
I'm drunk. I come home stumbling into the apartment, stripping off piece by piece of clothing.
Oh Lord!
Slowly. And then boom, I pass out. I won't remember a damn thing in the morning. What do you do?
Do you mean what they did to you while you were drunk?
While I was asleep.
Oh.
Well, if you're asleep, then I guess I'd put you to bed. And you know, I'd probably put some blankets on you because you'd catch cold. What else is there? I don't want him to get sick.
Very white.
I don't want to
I would drag your happy ass to have a little fun under the full moon.
I would let you play with my massive Buster blade.
Well, I'd put a blanket on you to make sure you weren't cold when you were sleeping, and I probably couldn't remember a thing too because I'd be drunk too.
Oh. Is there any other questions? Okay. All right, so D, are you ready to make your decision?
I think I'm gonna need a little help from the audience because, let's see,
Contestant number 1 would take care of me. I can feel that. Maybe not in the way that I want. Contestant number 2, you're just weird.